Well, hello, my beautiful Pisces. Welcome to my channel. This is Baba Jolie here with your singles love reading for mid-August right through to mid-September 2025. I've already cleansed your space and have meditated on your cards. For those of you who are returning, welcome back to my channel. Thank you so much for all your wonderful likes, shares, and subscribes. I am truly grateful for all your beautiful energy. Just a little reminder though, this is a general reading, not a one-to-one reading, just so you're aware. Also, please be mindful, scammers are about, pretend to be me and lots of other tarot readers. I do not do personal readings and I will never reach out to you personally to offer one. Also, I will never ask you for money, e-gifts, or donations. So if anyone masquerading as me asks for anything at all, please report them or ignore them. It is a scam, okay? Let's move straight on with your reading. Now, of course, I will be using Gaia chimes, so please be mindful to turn down your volume if you are someone who is sensitive to sound. Also worth noting that as you take this breath, this moment for you, it may be beneficial to really visualize the sort of person you want to be in a relationship with. The traits that they embody, perhaps what they look like, because using the Gaia chimes is a recalibration of vibrations, helping you to attach to your visions of what you would like to manifest. So I thought it may be beneficial for you to take this moment to really visualize and, state a claim to the universe of what it is you would like in a relationship and attract that energy with your vibration. So let us start your reading and let us begin. Okay, my beautiful Pisces, this is your singles love reading. I'm going to get your overarching energy first and then follow it with a Celtic cross just to see who's coming in towards you. Also, I don't know if you noticed with the Gaia chimes, right at the beginning there seemed to be a clash of notes. So it really told me that a lot of you are very busy. Perhaps you've had a lot of clashing incidents or events and you're like overworked or overcommitted in some way. And it's hard to catch a break right now. So maybe love has not been your priority, even though you do want it. I just feel a lot of you are kind of at capacity right now. And there is a period of alignment where you're creating space for love to come on in. So I thought it was kind of worth a mention there, but I do see things starting to transform for you, so I wanted you to be aware. Let's get to your cards and see what is going on for you specifically regarding love. Thank you so much, Spirit Guides, Guardian Angels. Can you please guide my beautiful Pisces? So your first card there is the Emperor. So this is your protagonist energy, so it tells me you have a lot of responsibility on your shoulders, a lot of duty. Life may have got pretty serious when it comes to, living focusing on your ambitions, your day-to-day tasks and responsibilities. Some of you may have family responsibilities, or it can be that you've committed yourself to something that you are ambitious to see it through to the end. And I feel a lot of you there may have taken your focus off the dating scene for a little bit because the High Priestess is in the resistance position. So it can indicate that whoever I'm picking up on right now, you're not talking to anybody. High Priestess is mute. You know, she takes a vow of silence in order to get to know herself in a deeper way, to connect to her higher self, and to basically really go on that journey of self-discovery. So some of you are prioritizing your own needs at this moment in time, and also deepening your faith, connecting to your life philosophy, you know, what it is you really want in a relationship, being clear about what it is that you want. But we have that sun energy, so that is your outcome position, and that tells me that there is success. You're going to achieve whatever it is you're reaching for in a relationship, but visualization is going to be the key to helping the universe kind of cosmic order with you, as it were. The sun energy is about blossoming. It's about allowing yourself to be seen. It's also about being really precise about what it is that you desire for your future. But the Emperor energy is your protagonist energy. So right now you are leading with this sense of purpose. I feel like you're looking for a long-term relationship, even though it may not have been your priority, as I mentioned there. It can be that now you're thinking about your 5-year plan. You know, you're thinking about the sort of life that you want to build, because the Emperor is a builder for the future, building your empire, focusing on your finances, you know. But it can be that you have been stricter with yourself in some way in your life to remove yourself from the dating scene, because I feel like you have tried in the past, but you may have been met with caution. And what I mean by that is that you may have met people who were kind of like unsure of what they wanted, indecisive, inconsistent, because when you get the High Priestess in the resistance position, you know, that is a card of secrets, or people like mistrusting the process of love, or, you know, someone who has loved and lost in the past, and it can represent a hurdle for someone to overcome. So you may have met some very hurt people who were emotionally shut down or not willing to open up or let you in, and that was really hard. You're a very sensitive person, my beautiful Pisceans, and you deserve love. You deserve the highest love that love has to offer. But also some of you may have been hurt in the past. Maybe some of you have been betrayed there as well, because this is a card of caution, as I mentioned there. But it can be that you took a vow of silence, or you decided to withdraw from the dating scene because no one had that spark. No one was out there that you could see a life to grow with them and take that journey of life and love. So I feel like there is this energy of like, okay, well, I'm going to pull all my focus into my projects, into my success, into my prosperity. And I feel that, you know, there is this energy here of you kind of creating space for a healthy love to come on in the meantime. Knowing thyself in a deeper way. This is a card that indicates you're reliable, you're honest. I feel like you've been brave. I feel like you've definitely been through something. So you need someone who is strong enough to walk by your side. But, you know, the High Priestess in this position, it can indicate that some of you, as you mature, because of course the Emperor energy represents maturity, it can indicate that some of you feel invisible, or that you blend into the background, but actually you get a lot of attention, and maybe even attention that you don't even notice. You're certainly going to start noticing that over the coming weeks. People giving you like a second glance or a side eye there. I definitely see here that a lot of you are deciding to follow your passions, take the initiative to get a little bit more curious, you know. When you have the Emperor, the history of the Emperor card, there used to be a Fool in the background of the card, always to remind the Emperor that whilst it took a lot of hard work to build the life that the Emperor was building and maintaining and sustaining, there should always be a little reminder to have fun, to, you know, look at new options, because sometimes life, it becomes a structure. You know, we get bound to a cycle of repeat, maintaining and sustaining our lives, and suddenly time flies on by, and you may be like having a bit of a wake-up call here where you're like, okay, I feel it's time. You know, this is about you kind of like recognizing that you want someone who has a deep bond with you, someone who is certain about what they want, because of course This card, when it's in the resistance position, it's always showing up in the reverse, but then it will turn into the upright, which means you're about to meet someone who has a psychic bond with you. Some of you are actually going to dream about an encounter with a person. You may not really remember their face, okay, is what I'm being given, but you will remember the circumstances. And when you meet this new person, there is a familiarity about this person, like deja vu. You're going to have a moment where you're like, have we met before? Have I dreamt about you? Is this a... There's just going to be that moment, okay? Now also, and this is not going to resonate with all of you, okay? So I don't want you all like running out there to the library, but I'm getting a strong sense of wisdom and knowledge where you can meet this person. And I'm being shown in the water right now a library. So either, you know, you are a keen, avid reader, or this person you're about to meet is somehow connected to a library. Could be that they're a writer. Maybe their book is in the library. Or it could be that you're actually meeting someone in a library. Or it could be that you're going to meet a person and they arrange a date with you and say, hey, let's meet outside the library. I got to give you what I can see because I'm scrying at the same time as doing a reading, but I am kind of like touching the energy of this card, and this is all about wisdom and knowledge. So there may be some connection there. So with a lot of love and respect, I'm going to remove myself from that energy, but your outcome is super positive. This is the most positive card in the deck. The Sun card indicates a blossoming of self. It also indicates that you are beautiful, both inside and out. This is you being free and open and, you know, having that raw passion and energy, driving out the old if you have been through some challenging times in your past, really healing in order to be free. You know, this can also be like an end of an inner battle in some way, having more confidence within yourself. But most importantly, it's allow yourself to be seen. And what you're reaching for, there is an energy of you being able to manifest it. Okay, you can take action. And I see a lot of you reaching for something that you're passionate about. But we'll get into the Celtic cross because, I mean, this is illumination. So a lot of you are seeking inner wisdom. We've got intuition, illumination. You've been going through a major awakening. Okay, and that is often a very solitary path. It could be a little bit lonely at times as well. So if you're searching for your soul tribe or you're looking at relationships, friendships, changing, evolving, and you're feeling uncertain, this is where you're on the precipice of change. To meet the people who align with you, but also to meet the relationships that you're meant to, you know, meet in this lifetime. And of course, a divine counterpart, because you've created space for love to come on in. A lot of you will really open up to this new person. You and this person, when you have a conversation, because I'm getting a very strong indication, when you meet this new person, you're both going to talk about something that is really private, that you rarely tell other people, but yet you're telling it to someone you've just met, and vice versa. And both of you are going to be a little bit shocked that you feel so comfortable that both of you are sharing something really private, and it's just a measure of how you just click. I feel like you just click with this new person. But let's get to the Celtic cross, as I mentioned there, just to see the details. Thank you so much, Spirit Guides, Grand Angels. Can you please guide my beautiful Pisceans? We've got the Two of Cups. You are manifesting love right there. This is the foundation. So this means that you are in a state of attraction. You are creating that space. You are love. Okay, you are someone who is dependable, loyal, caring, you know, you offer unconditional love. I feel that you know yourself on a really deep level. And the Two of Cups, you know, it can indicate that you're not looking for just a flirtation or kind of like a transitory relationship. You're looking for something that is deep, someone who sticks around. You're looking for the forever kind of partner. Okay, so that's what is coming out with your Two of Cups there. We've got the Ten of Pentacles. A lot of you do have responsibilities or family responsibilities, and some of you have been in a relationship in the past where you separated from this person and it made you feel really cautious. It may have knocked your confidence, or perhaps you learned that love leaves. Or for some of you, because the High Priestess is there, you may have a trust issue based on a betrayal. But I feel like you are driving out the old and being more confident about yourself and recognizing that you're not going to repeat a cycle. Okay, I feel it's very important. Oh my gosh, we have the Lovers here. I'm shuffling these cards. You're seeing me shuffling these cards. I mean, there's a small percentage of some of you out there, my beautiful Pisceans. I'm picking up on about 4%. Some of you may have a crush on somebody right now, okay? And Ten of Pentacles, either they've just come out of a relationship or you're unsure if they're with someone, because the Ten of Pentacles is a high-level commitment, but I'm picking up more of an energy that you are not in a high-level commitment right now. But the Two of Cups and the Lovers card, you may feel like you have a crush on someone and you're wondering how this person feels about you. I mean, looking at the energy, I would say that this person's really into you. I would say that this person, you know, they've caught feelings. Okay, we got an Ace of Wands there, so chemistry. If you're feeling an intense vibe from a person, I'm going to pull a card on it, but I have a feeling here that, how would you like to receive? Okay, so we have an Eight of Swords, and we have a Seven of Swords. So some of you, yeah, there's a trust issue here, something that perhaps you're going to have to overcome, but I feel a lot of you are overcoming this and acknowledging that a past person is in the past and you're not going to repeat that lesson that you had with that person. You're going to be noticing the red flags. But because we have a Six Cups here and we've got the Lovers card, the Choice card, this can indicate some of you may have a visitation from the past. But more than anything, that Six of Cups is nostalgia. What if you've had a previous experience in love that has been challenging or broke your heart or made you feel bereft? You know, this can be that when you're getting intimate with a person, all those fears start to arise and you feel a bit stuck. You remember the time that you were hurt. What if it happens again? So it could keep you in analysis paralysis, because the High Priestess and the Eight of Swords is a moment of feeling a little bit stuck or a little bit kind of like not sure how to proceed. Maybe you're feeling as a barrier that's keeping you from getting to the next stage of something. But if you're already in like in a connection with a person, that it's not really turned into a relationship, or you haven't declared feelings for each other and you've got a crush, I feel like they've got a crush back, right? So I'm going to pull some cards on it though. But for the rest of you who don't have anybody right now and you're like wondering if love is coming on in, I would say get ready, because love is on its way, okay? We have a King of Cups here, so we have a Ten of Wands, and a Ten of Wands means you're at capacity. You have a lot of responsibility on your shoulders. You're very busy. There's a clash here. It's like you want love, but, you know, do you have space for love? So let me just see what's on the other side of that Ten of Wands. Can you show me on the other side of Ten of Wands? We got the Four of Cups. And we've also got the Four of Pentacles, a secure relationship, but a need to let go of either a preconceived idea of what love could be and just explore it. Let it be organic, let it flow. Because I feel with that Four of Cups, you know, yes, you've been disappointed in love in the past, or some of you, the Four of Cups is like a refusal to get involved. It's like you've been discouraged in some way, or you had an expectation when it comes to love and it was not met, and it's like you were closed off, or you've met people who were closed off, and it can be the universe is going to intervene to offer you a more rewarding option when it comes to love, a soulmate, because you got the Two of Cups and the Lovers card here. But for those of you who are currently crushing on somebody, let me just pull a quick card to see how that's going. I mean, looking at the energy, I would say if you're ever questioning how someone feels, you know, or how things are going, if you've got a question mark in your heart on anything, that's normally your intuition saying, be cautious, don't rush into anything. You know, actions always speak louder than words. So looking at the energy with the Four of Cups and the Four of Pentacles, I mean, we've got the King of Cups here, so I feel this person has feelings for you, but let's just go, because I feel that you're not going to like put yourself out there. I feel the person is, but let me just see. If Pisces is crushing on someone, can you show me the energy back? Queen of Pentacles and the Ace of Swords. So this can indicate this person is serious about you. Ace of Swords, it's an energy of like discussing, talking, revealing a truth, taking ownership. And with that Queen of Pentacles there, this can indicate this person will, well, I'm getting two energies. They may talk about their mom, okay? Something about their mom. They're going to give you like a secret or something that's really private about their family lineage, that's for sure. I feel it's on the matriarchal side there, but also, you know, the Queen of Pentacles energy is someone who kind of like lets you know in a very grounded fashion that they're kind of like serious about you. You know, they feel very comfortable talking to you, and I feel that they're actually going to like come forward and just make their actions be a little bit more serious. Okay, I feel like you're not going to like move this forward. They are. Okay, because Queen of Pentacles is a homemaker, but also is someone who takes their time, you know, to open up. And let me just go one more. I just want to see, we got the Ten of Wands, so they may be just closing something out as well, because the Ace of Swords and a Ten of Wands, and you've got a Ten of Wands here. It can be that, yeah, we've got the King of Wands here. So it can be that they are just closing something out and they want to be fully free of that, okay? And I would say give them space to do that. You don't want to be a rebound on that, but it may be that they tell you a secret about ending a relationship with someone, or, you know, having a lot on. I would say look to them for their cues, but I really feel they're going to tell you that they feel quite serious about you, and, you know, they're attracted to you, of course. But because that Ten of Wands is there, I would say that this person, they've got some baggage, okay? I feel this relationship, let me say it this way, okay? This relationship, it will move forward, but I feel in the next 6 weeks, because this reading is for the next 6 weeks, it's going to stay stuck at a plateau. It feels like where you're at right now is where you're at, okay? And then after the 6 weeks, this person's going to come forward and give you a little bit more clarity, and they're going to give you a little bit more of an indication on, you know, what's going on with them. Because I feel like there is this energy of not wanting to kind of like fully come forward for some reason, and it's either you or they are closing something out, and they don't want it to infiltrate the relationship. They want to have a clean slate, okay? So it may require some time. So I'm just going to leave it like that, because that's not going to resonate with everyone, but I had to honor that. For the rest of you who are not crushing on anyone, by the way, if you are crushing on someone, I feel it's positive, so I want you to be aware of that. But, you know, give them space, because you don't want to rush into this. Allow it to just organically, you know, flow. But for those of you who are not connected to anyone, Two of Cups indicates you're trying to romance your life a little bit more, you know, spend time with friendships. You know, there is that famous saying, if you want love, you must be love. And because this is your foundation card, I feel like you are trying to fall in love with your life as much as possible. But that Ten of Pentacles, you have some responsibilities. Some of those responsibilities are to your family, or if you are a parent, you may have children, for example, you're guiding the next generation. But even if you are not, a lot of you, your focus could be that you want love, but also you are busy, that you're trying to focus on your financial security for your future. But again, because the Ten of Pentacles is crossing, it is a knowledge card, okay? So there is this energy coming through. One is a place where you will meet someone that is connected to knowledge. That's coming through. This is a new person, because you do have that Four of Cups there. But also I'm getting an energy of someone you have history with, that you already are aware of their presence in your life. You could have separated from this person, because we do have that Six of Cups. For some of you, you know, I would just be a little bit mindful of anyone trying to re-enter your life, especially if it was left with a question mark, like they just ghosted you, or, you know, they shut you down or disappeared, or, you know, breadcrumbed you. Just be a little bit mindful, because this person has not changed their ways, okay? This person is stuck and they are emotionally unavailable. So I would say, you know, honor yourself. It's your prerogative if you want to connect with that person. You know, you have a Six of Cups there, so there could be reunion vibes, or someone wants to catch up with you and, you know, see if they can move it forward. But because we got the Seven of Swords, I would just say be a little bit mindful, because this person, it feels like they're going to repeat a cycle there. You're not going to repeat a cycle with a new person, okay? I'm just seeing that there. But Ten of Pentacles, a lot of you, it can be that, you have no problem really attracting anyone. You get a lot of attention, but it's like getting to the next stage in a relationship, investing in a relationship. You may feel it always gets to a certain level and then it doesn't go beyond that. But I feel that's all about to change, because this is a crossing card. This actually is a marriage card. Ten of Pentacles is marriage, okay? In the reverse, because you read the crossing of this card, you read it in reverse as well. It can indicate that you have gone through a separation, or you are worried that perhaps you keep meeting people who were either already connected and closing something out, because that's very present in this particular reading, and you feel that you get caught in the crossfire of other people's storms, and you're not just here to be someone's emotional crutch. You're not just here to fix people and then they flee the nest. So if you've had that experience, I feel like you are ending that experience and you have learned lessons from this, and now you're all in and you want a high level commitment, which I see that you will have in your future. There is a secure relationship here where I feel like, you will meet someone where you will decide whether you want to settle down with that person, but I feel you're on a trajectory to meet a new person. Is it in the next 6 weeks? I would say no, because this is a very independent card, but I would say that it's not too far away. I feel a lot of you with that Ten of Wands, you're just very busy. Okay, I feel like you've got so much going on. You got 2 tens here on the earthly plane position. The Lover's card indicates you got options. You may not see these options. You may not see people kind of like looking at you, or kind of like flirting with you. For some of you may be like, you know what? I don't even know if people are flirting with me. So you may be just like trying to prioritize your own needs right now, and life has been pretty serious, and you're all about your stability and security right now, and it can be that it hasn't been a priority, but now I feel like you are attracting your soulmate. The Lover's card is soulmate territory, so I feel it's not too far away because we have the soulmate card on the earthly plane position, which means this person is on a trajectory to meet you, okay? And yeah, I'm feeling something like outside a library or outside an institution that houses like maybe very old historical artifacts, books, things like that. I mean, it could be a museum, but I am seeing like a very ornate library, like a city library type feel. Okay, this keeps coming through, so I'm not sure why, but I have to honor it there. But the Lover's card, this indicates that you will be falling in love, okay? And the earthly plane position indicates that you're going to align with someone who is aligned with your morals, your sense of purpose, your values, and actually is someone who, is looking at the same sort of relationship for the future. You can fall in love with a person and they can absolutely fall in love with you back, and you can be so head over heels with each other. But if you don't want the same things in a relationship, especially for your future, then it's misaligned. And at some point you'll have to cross that bridge when it comes, and then you get to decide whether you go your separate ways or someone compromises and says, okay, well, you know what, I gotta compromise in order to stay. But I feel like you're actually meeting a new person who wants exactly what you want in a relationship, and this relationship you're about to embark on is rare. Okay, now in the past position we have the Ace of Wands, so this is taking the initiative. So some of you may have been interested in something new or been kind of curious about a new hobby, something that you're passionate about. This is a card of enterprise. This is also a card of vision, so it can be that you've promised yourself that you're going to go on new adventures or take more chances. I'm actually being given the game of chance. Is that a game? Is there a real game called Game of Chance? My guides. Okay, so maybe it is a chance meeting, because I can't think of any games called Game of Chance. I mean, I can think of things like card games. That's a game of chance. Lottery, game of chance. Roulette, game of chance. So I'm just going to leave that there. So unless you have booked some sort of games event, or perhaps you are going to an event where games are booked, I'm just going to leave it like that. But I was given by my guides Game of Chance. okay? Game of chance. But let's get back to this, because the Ace of Wands is actually an intervention, a divine intervention from the universe to basically put you in the path to meet someone where there's a spark. So for some of you, you may feel that in the past it was easier to meet a person, chemistry, attraction, instant attraction. But as you mature, you may feel like your options are slimmer, or it's pretty scarce out there to find the whole package, as it were, to have someone who's attractive, or someone that you're attracted to, someone who gets you, someone where there's chemistry as well. It's like there's a lot of ingredients that go into love. And because the High Priestess is there, and you've got the High Priestess twice, you may be questioning like the mystery of love. Like, what is it? Is it pheromones? Is it scientific? Is it divine? Is it fated? Is it chance? So I feel a lot of you are about to meet a person where there is a spark, and it's instant chemistry. And I feel this is the card of transformation. So a lot of you, because there's these two energies, this is your declaration to self to make some changes in your life, to do more things that you're passionate about, whether it's a hobby or whether it is like a new venture in some way. I feel like you've had a wonderful idea and you're not giving up on the fact that the big love story is out there, and I feel like you're going to have it. But we do have that Eight of Swords. The Eight of Swords is your potential position. And when you get an Eight of Swords in a potential position, it basically means you do not see this love coming. Or maybe you don't see readily when a person is flirting with you. So I feel the person that you're about to meet is actually going to kind of like really show up for you. And if you at first don't get it that they're flirting with you, they're literally going to be really blunt and be like, look, this is how I'm feeling. They're going to ask you out on a date. They're going to make it real plain for you. But let me just pull a card on the Eight of Swords, okay? Because the Lover's card is a choice card. And for some of you, this can indicate there's already someone who has a crush on you. You may not see it, or you may overthink it, for example, or you may feel it's stuck. You know, nobody's getting past that kind of level. And of course, we can never make a person like get to the next level. If they have some blockages, then they have to work through that before they can really offer you a love that you truly deserve and desire. But what I can see in your circumstances outside of your self position, King of Cups is someone who has an open heart, the highest love that love has to offer, someone who is gentle, someone who's passionate, someone who has a lot of depth, a lot of feeling for you, only has eyes for you, someone who's a good listener, who thinks about the little things. That's the sort of person you're about to meet. So if you're questioning a person, I would say give them time to open up if you have a crush on this person. But if you don't know of anybody who, is aligning with you in that way right now, I would say you're about to meet a person who has strong water in their chart. This could be another Piscean. It could be a Scorpio, Cancerian. They have a lot of water. They have fire in their chart as well. But let me just pull a quick card on that Eight of Swords, because I'm wondering why you don't see this coming, okay? Or why you're feeling a little bit stuck in a rut there. We have the Knight of Swords. Some of you are going through some lifestyle changes. You may feel like you're adapting to certain circumstances that have been abrupt or quite quick there. This is a card of needing to broaden your perspective. So it can also be that you feel that it's the same old thing, just a different day. There's no one in your immediate circumstances. And although I'm talking about love and soulmate, you're like, yeah, where that person at, Baba? I can't see them. The Eight of Swords is like, right now I'm looking around and there ain't nobody. So I feel with that Knight of Swords, it's going to happen pretty quick. This is a card of doing something differently or adapting to change or going to new environments. This is to broaden your horizons and try new things. So it can be that if you do the same thing, you're going to get the same outcome. And if you're not happy with that outcome, then I feel a lot of you are committed to making a change or to do something that you're excited about. This is the spark of inspiration to take an adventure. And because we have a Knight of Swords, some of you, this could be travel related, but I'm feeling more than anything that right where you're at, but you're just doing something different. Okay, it doesn't mean that if you're taking a vacation, you won't meet someone there, but I just feel a lot of you are meeting someone right where you're at, but it just feels like you're doing something different. So it could be like a pop-up in the neighborhood or something. We got that Six of Wands. So this is you like being seen, raised on a bit of a pedestal by somebody. Just be a little bit mindful of that because it should be a reciprocal exchange. But the Six of Wands is an energy of success, but also being an influencer, influencing your circumstances in order to transform your life in some way. So I feel this is also about you renewing your trust in love. So if you have been a bit of an overthinker there, I feel like, you're going to meet someone who is not like someone from the past. If you have had some challenging experiences when it comes to love, I feel like you're meeting someone who's honest, someone who is also strong enough to walk by your side, someone who's very successful or was successful in their career, but they could still be very successful in their career. I feel someone who is not afraid to tell you how they feel, okay? And the Eight of Swords, although you may not be able to see this person right now, I feel like you are protected from, an experience that could be negative. So if you are worrying about repeating a cycle in a relationship, and I'm only mentioning this because we do have a Six of Cups right now in your advice to yourself in this moment. And the Six of Cups is remember the past, remember what went down there. So it could be that you tried to connect to somebody and it didn't go the way you hoped for, or it could be that you had a very challenging or even toxic relationship. That's not going to repeat. It feels like it ends, and I feel like there's nothing to worry about there. So that Eight of Swords, I feel like, you may meet a person quite quickly. It just happens out of the blue. And it may be connected to an event or, for some of you, because the Knight of Swords is there, it could be connected to online. The High Priestess and Swords, they're all about the ether, the air. So if you are connecting to people online, I would say you're going to meet this person, in a group setting in some way. And for some of you at first, you may have like a clash in your diaries, like you can't make it or you're both really busy and you can't make it happen. But then eventually you do, is what I'm seeing. But we do have in the near future, and that's why I say I don't think it's going to be in the next 6 weeks, because the Seven of Swords is a very independent card. This card gets a bit of a bad rap. Of course, it can be connected to someone being secretive or rushing into something and missing something. But also it can be connected to trust issues. But ultimately, the history of this card is about independence, doing something that, people do not expect of them. So it could be that you are doing something bold and daring and different and doing it on your own, for example, but somehow it involves you. I would say it involves you eventually being in a group setting, but it could be something you're doing for you. So it could be you booking a class of learning or doing something where you commit to knowledge in some way. But I'm going to pull a card on the Seven of Swords because this is a desire to live life on your own terms. It's about enjoying your single life. It's about making some changes for you, not for the fact that, you would like to find love. I feel like you're doing something for you when you meet somebody. I feel a lot of you are not seeking love because the Two of Cups is there. It's like, I want love. This is what I'm manifesting at this time. I'm attracting love into my life. But the Seven of Swords tells me that you're not going speed dating, or you're not actively seeking. You may have a bit of a browse online occasionally, because Seven of Swords is dipping in and out. It's not really fully committed to something online, if that makes sense. But I'm going to pull a quick card on that Seven of Swords there for you, because Seven of Swords with the Lover's card, it can be that you need to make an important choice. So if you have options, whether it is a person from your past, an ex, and a new person, or whether it is, that you are unsure of who to choose, I feel like you have to trust your intuition. High Priestess is there saying tap into your intuition. All the knowledge you need is within you. Even if you seek guidance outside of yourself by soundboarding with friends or family, ultimately your heart is always going to yearn after the person that you truly have feelings for. So let me see that. I've got the Ten of Wands. It's all connected to the Ten of Wands. I keep pulling this card for you. Every time I shuffle the deck, it keeps popping out. Ten of Wands, I would say that you're really busy. You know, a lot of you, whoever I'm picking up on, Ten of Wands means you have a lot on your plate right now. You're overcommitted, or you feel overburdened, you're exhausted. I mean, the Seven of Swords can indicate that you have more than you can like deal with right now, if that makes sense. If you know the traditional Rider-Waite Tarot, the figure on the Seven of Swords is carrying 5 swords in stealth mode. Okay, and actually looking back at the 2 swords that they've left behind, it's like I've been meaning to go back there, okay, but right now I got to rush off. So that figure is in a rush. So it can be that you're always in a rush, but also there's a looking back. So it can be that, you know, you're looking back at a previous experience that either hurt you or tempts you. Okay, and some of you are trying to close out. There's a little bit of baggage there, but I would say with this Ten of Wands, you're creating space. You're kind of like in a period where you're saying goodbye to some emotions or relationships or people or situations that you realize do not belong in your life anymore. So you're closing stuff out. You're going through that personal journey of discovery. And the Seven of Swords can indicate that whilst you want love, you may be like ready for it, but I feel, are you too busy to commit to a relationship at this moment in time? So I would say this is a card of like, interesting. My guys just said this can be a card of gathering as well. Gathering. So there may be a gathering, but I'll pull a card on that separately because that is something that just come in left field. I mean, it's very unusual to have a Ten of Wands as a gathering, but my guides are telling me it can also represent a gathering. So let me just have a look there. Hierophant. Oh, a wedding. Some of you... Sorry, I'm just having a little bit of conversation with my guides as well. I just said, oh, a gathering, and my guide said, or an institution where you learn things. So that is correct. Of course, this can be some sort of structure where knowledge is passed down. That's what the Hierophant is all about. So again, it could indicate an event or gathering at some sort of like institution. You know what I'm being given right now as well? You know those like museum lates? For example, like after dark. So some of you could be invited to something like that or curious about something like that. If you've got one of those in your neighborhood, that's very unique, very precise, not going to resonate with everyone, but I have to honor what I have coming through there. But, you know, this is the end. I mean, Ten of Wands and the Hierophant can be the end of a marriage or end of a relationship, high-level commitment. So I feel either you are closing something out right now, or the person that you are aligning with is like closing out a lesson or closing out a relationship, and it's not too far in the future that you will meet this person, but they need to like sort through some baggage, or you do. That's what I'm picking up on, okay? But I do feel a lot of you will meet this person. There's some sort of connection to knowledge, wisdom. I mean, they could be a mentor or a teacher, or there's some connection to like artifacts, old books, history, that sort of thing coming through. Seven of Swords, Ten of Wands, and the Hierophant, I would say, you know, I'm just picking up on this energy because of choice. So I just keep coming back, and I got to be honest with you, if you've got someone who comes in and out of your life and they've got form, there is a potential this person is somehow connected to somebody, or, you know, it just feels that they're not available. The new person that you're about to meet, they are available, okay? I just keep coming back to this because the Six of Cups is there, and this is like past. Okay, this is nostalgia. So either you keep thinking about something from the past. A lot of you may be like, well, I wasn't until you mentioned it, but the Six of Cups is the past. So maybe something triggers that. Often, you know, the Six of Cups can indicate when you sort through the baggage of the past, then the universe bestows a gift upon you, and you have that Four of Cups, which means you may be closed off to love, like briefly, and then the universe offers you the great love story, something better than you've ever had, and you've been conserving yourself for the one. So let me just pull another card on this. I mean, there is this message coming through, and I have to honor. There seems to be some sort of connection to a person who's closing something out. So maybe the message is getting blurred between someone who's got like a crush on somebody, but I just feel as well it's like a bigger energy that's kind of snowballing the reading, as it were. The Hermit is a solitary energy for knowledge and wisdom, and the Chariot card is moving on from something. So some of you may have taken like a vow to like be off grid or not operating on the dating scene for a while, but when you overcome something or learn more about yourself, suddenly you're having some movement and improvement. There could be some travel there, but again, I feel more than anything, it's you moving on from something. So I'm going to leave that message there, because otherwise it is going to hijack your reading and I'm just going to be stuck in this loop. Maybe some of you felt that you've been stuck in a loop. That's not going to resonate with all of you, but I'm going to move on with a lot of love and respect, because I feel it has been a big deal there. But you will overcome this if it has been a big deal for you. So because I'm disconnecting from that energy, the Six of Cups is your advice to yourself. So that is to learn from the past. It is to look back at the security of the good old days, but don't do it with rose-tinted glasses, because, you know, of course, you can look back at the fondness or fond times of it being easier to be in a relationship, or a time where a relationship was good. In order to acknowledge, you need to heal old wounds or recognize that the best is yet to come, because I feel that's not the end of your love story. You know, the Six of Cups is, you know, peace. It is like spending time with friends, building happy memories. It is an energy of like calm reflection, thinking about relationships in general, what it is you want in a relationship, you know. Sometimes we do think back to an old relationship and wonder what a person's up to and whether they got their karma or whether they're having a wonderful life. You know, you could have had experiences with people where it ended amicably and you're like, I hope that person's well. I hope they're doing well. You know, there's an energy here, though, of you acknowledging that you're looking for a sign or hoping for a relationship that is pure. A person has pure intentions, you know, no motivation, no kind of like hit and run kind of energy where they are here today, gone tomorrow, no player energy. I feel like you're looking for an honest, true blue relationship, and that is what you're aligning with. And you are kind of like quietening the noise and stepping away and removing yourself from anyone who presents anything other than what you're looking for. That's the main energy I'm getting. I mean, the circumstances outside of yourself, the King of Cups indicates a very romantic relationship, but it's more than just romance. It's actually, you know, someone who's in it for the long haul, someone who is sensitive, emotional, caring, who's going to be careful with your heart, someone who's kind and loving, and may have actually been hurt in the past themselves. And I feel that is where both of you may understand that you appreciate each other and not take each other for granted. This is a person who is in touch with their emotions and actually has a beautiful heart. Okay, this person may have been in a high-level commitment in the past or even married in the past, but this person who's coming in, they are free to love you. And this person will wear their heart on their sleeve as well, okay? This person offers unconditional love. That's what this card is all about. And I feel this person is very loving and actually is a welcome addition to your life. So this is a circumstance outside of yourself. It means you're about to meet a person who is loving and kind and wants to love you. Now, the hope and fear position, we have the High Priestess. Again, there's the caution. There is an energy of, you know, feeling like perhaps for some of you that you're just taking your time. You'll be ready when you're ready, okay? And also, I feel this is a card that when you meet a person, you could overthink it a little bit, maybe even keep them at arm's length for a little while, but the right person is going to want to knock down those walls and get to know the real you, really see you. And I feel it's going to be very raw and passionate and, you know, all-consuming. And I feel there is a psychic bond between you and this person. But the hope and a fear position, you would fear to meet anyone who's got a secret relationship or holds secrets, keeps secrets from you, someone who does not open up, who is not emotionally available. Also, I feel, you know, you would hope to have a magical bond that is fated with a person, someone who just feels right, who fits into your world, someone who has done spiritual work and meets you on so many different levels. Someone you can trust, someone who makes you a better person and you make them a better person. You both step up for each other. So I feel those are the conditions that you're hoping for with this card in this position. And of course, the High Priestess, it is about kind of taking a chance on love, not knowing. The High Priestess is to tap into the intuition and kind of know. So I would say there is a fear of not knowing. How can I trust this person with my heart? Especially if you've had a previous relationship that was not careful with your heart. How can you trust? Well, again, I mean, I don't know if there's a game called the game of chance, but I mean, life and love, it's all chance, isn't it? You have to go in with an open heart and say, take me as I am, and trust a person until they give you a reason not to. Otherwise, there will be the solitary energy and you'll never trust anybody. So trusting your intuition, most important. So the outcome energy, we have the Ten of Wands. Ten of Wands, again, keeps coming up for you. So a lot of you are at capacity. You have a desire to kind of like create space for new love to come on in. I will pull one final card on this just to see what that's all about for you. But first of all, we've got that Four of Pentacles, which is a safe and secure relationship. But also it is a cautionary tale with this card because it says don't hold on to the past because it will basically see you having life passing you by. You know, if we hold on to things, then the only person you're hurting is you ultimately, or the only person that you are preventing from moving forward is you. Now, don't shoot the messenger when I say this. I feel this is a card of letting go and trusting that you are going to be in a long-term relationship. This card can indicate a stagnancy based on, you know, feeling cautious. Basically, if you know the traditional Rider-Waite Tarot, the Four of Pentacles, the figure is holding on to Four of Pentacles in order to feel secure, but they are leaving the city behind. So they're coming out of their comfort zone, doing something different. So it can be that there is going to be stability and security, but you must come out of the comfort zone. You must leave a certain familiarity. And I do feel that you're going to meet a person kind of like in your vicinity, as it were, but it feels like there's something new in that area to do where you meet this person. So it may not be like close encounters, but it may be someone who's on the periphery, someone who's just outside the edges of where you live or the neighborhood, okay? Because I feel with the energy, looking at it, it feels like it's quite local. Okay, so that may not resonate with all of you, but I have to honor what I'm getting there. And we've got that Four of Cups. Four of Cups indicates just when you're feeling fed up, just when you're about to doubt and give up, Four of Cups, the universe steps in. You know, the traditional Rider-Waite Tarot, and I'm only mentioning that and referencing it because it gives you a bit more of a picture of what the card means. You know, a figure sits under a tree with the arms crossed, closed off, saying, look, these three cups I have in front of me, I've been there. Done that. They were all disappointing. Every one of them disappointed me. So it's not what I'm looking for. So it can be that you have searched on the dating scene, couldn't find what you're looking for, and the universe, there's like a little turbulent cloud up on that Four of Cups, and suddenly a hand of the universe comes in with a greater cup. It measures bigger than all the other ones and says, here's the big love story. You've been through so much. Here's a reward, the love of your life. So it can be that you're about to meet the love of your life. Okay, so I would say creating space is important. A lot of you are bored with the options that you've been presented with, but I do get this energy that, you know, there is a relationship coming on in for you, and it may be a bit of a surprise. You don't see it coming because there is either a distraction from your past or, you know, you have been kind of like worrying that you will repeat a past situation. But let me just pull a quick card on that Ten of Wands, because this can also indicate that you shut something down or turn someone down or close off a relationship because it's not rewarding for you, and then it frees you up to align with the person who's always been meant for you. You know, a Ten of Wands represents being so close to a new beginning. So let me just pull one final card on this, because, you know, having that Ten of Wands with the Four of Cups, it can indicate, yeah, you're feeling stuck in a rut, but the universe can still show up and surprise you. Nine of Swords, it's worry. worry or being haunted by the past. Okay, Nine of Swords can also indicate doubt or even sometimes intrusive thoughts. You know, I would say this is about you turning fear to possibility when we believe that we are worthy of love, and you are so worthy of love, right? But sometimes when we haven't had love show up for a while, or we feel like it's not going to happen, suddenly we start to lose belief in it. So it could be that you're going to be so close to going, you know what, forget this love thing, it's not happening. And then suddenly the universe says, bring in the soulmate, because I feel you do not see this person coming. And I know I said I was only going to shuffle and do one more card on this, but I just wanted to see. So we've got the Seven of Pentacles, which is you looking at the alternative at a crossroads, having a new strategy, you know, feeling like things have not been fulfilling. You're dissatisfied. The way things develop, it just doesn't go the way you'd hoped for. You've been very patient there. Three of Pentacles is an indication that you are the architect of your goals and your dreams. And also it's about people coming together. So you may be doing something where, you know, you have a plan to do something and it brings people together. This could be creativity, it could be a talent you have, could be a hobby. It could also be that you're like asking your friends, like, is there anyone that you know that I may be interested in? But what I do see here is that suddenly you have like a spark, or you're inspired and you're like, actually, I want to do this. And you may actually do this independently, because sevens tend to be independent, and it puts you in the position to meet a group of people, because that's how I'm seeing this right now. Like, you do something for you, but it puts you in a group setting in some way. And I feel that's where you meet a person. I mean, Three of Pentacles, Four of Cups is telling me that there is someone new. It's like the new kid on the block kind of energy. There's someone new coming into your energetic sphere. And it is love. Two of Cups and the Lovers, it's love. You will have love on the earthly plane. And this person, strong water in their chart. I mean, initially you may be a little bit shy when you meet this person. Maybe they are not exactly your usual type, but I feel like there's an energy here of them winning your heart. Okay, that's what I'm feeling there. So I will get some final cards for you. I would say that you're not going to meet this person in the next 6 weeks. This reading is, of course, for 6 weeks. We've got I am wild and I am free and I am a healer. So this is you coming into alignment. Some of you are literally healing. I am authentic. Yes. So I am wild and free. And I would say that this is connected to you doing something bold and daring and different. Okay, because this is a pretty wild card. It means transformation, sudden excitement, spontaneity, doing something, maybe even something impromptu that comes up. Maybe you can't see that you're booking something, because Three of Pentacles is to engineer a plan, you know, and to follow through on that plan. It can also be that you're building your life in some way, and the dream of whatever it is that you are focusing on, that becomes tangible. So now it's time to start to focus on the vision of love. My guides also said, and this is true actually, I didn't even think about this, you know, Three of Pentacles can connect to teachers, students, you know, and what I mean by that, it could be that you are learning something in a group setting. Maybe there's another student on that course. Maybe someone tells you about something that you're really interested in. I just feel like you're going to be learning, or this person is connected to education or knowledge, wisdom in some way. But we've got wild and free. So right now you're rewilding, reigniting that spark. You know, a lot of you could be remembering yourself. You may have felt that the world has been pretty serious, a lot of responsibility on your shoulders with that Emperor energy. You've always been in a position where you had to lead, even from a very young age. And now you're rekindling that wild spirit of yours in order to put yourself in situations to meet people as your authentic self, where you're freer of responsibility. We have I am a healer, so this is you aligning. I would say that's what's happening with you for the next 6 to 8 weeks even. We've also got, I am unique and beautiful. I speak highly of myself. Nine of Swords can indicate intrusive thoughts. Okay, so some of you may have been questioning why love did not show up for you just yet in the way that you hope for, but I feel like your belief in love will be restored in some way. But this is a little reminder, safe, you are lovable, you're smart, you're unique and beautiful, you are worthy, you are free. So if you had people in the past who tried to control you, I feel like, you're going to meet a person who loves you on your terms and vice versa. And also we have I am authentic. Okay, so you speak your truth. If you acknowledge that someone is not for you, then you just tell them how it is because you're not here to waste time. So I feel like you're going to meet a person who is as authentic as you are. And I would say that in and around education or something to do with the library is relevant. I'm hearing a song before we go, random. I think this just popped up earlier, but I couldn't quite get what the song was, so I didn't. You got me feeling emotions deeper than I ever dreamed of. Very famous song. Mariah Carey. I mean, everyone knows that song. So listen out for that song. I feel it will be something that you hear before you meet this person. Just look out for that, okay? So I'll leave it there. I hope something resonates, my beautiful Pisceans. Also, worth noting that writing things down is a declaration to the universe. It's solidifying your cosmic ordering. So really think about the traits you want in a relationship, in a person. See the sort of person you want and write it physically down because you're solidifying it. You're actually stating a claim to the universe to say, this is what I want. So either in private, write it down on paper, commit it to paper as it were, call it in, or write it in the comments box below. Whatever it is, just make a declaration to self and write it down as a cosmic order, because if you think about a manifestation, every time you think about what you want, it's cosmic ordering. And if you are saying, oh, I'd love someone who was honest and true and loyal, and then the next day you say, I want someone who's honest, true, and loyal, lives in the neighborhood, has a good job, got their life together, you've added 3 things to your cosmic order. Think of it like a kitchen. Every time you think about what you want, if you're changing the words or changing the conditions, the order has to go back to the kitchen in order to be re-prepped. So just be mindful, write it down, commit it to paper, and that's it. Trust the process from there, okay? So we have a spider. So the spider basically represents luck. Spiders are always good luck there, but it can also represent once bitten, twice shy. It can indicate you've been in a toxic relationship in the past. But I feel, it's important. The spider is the architect of their web. If you think about a dream catcher, which is all about wishes and catching your dreams, it's always in the structure of a spider's web. There's a reason for that. So I feel this is about you kind of building a picture of what it is you want in a relationship and attracting it and then capturing it. Okay, but I would say the spider is indicative of better luck in relationships. We also have happy, and I feel happiness comes from within. So you may have been on pause on purpose in order to get to know yourself in a deeper way and learn to be happy without another individual, because your happiness is not tied up within another, and loving yourself fully has to happen first before you can offer love to another. The cup of love always starts with the self first. So I feel you are building a life that you are happy with, and anyone who comes into your life is a welcome addition to your life, okay? And also I feel like you will be truly happy. You have a padlock here as well, so that represents a secure relationship coming on in, a relationship that is for keeps, and you will know who this person is, because I feel like you will have an option, and perhaps you have to turn someone down, but I really get this energy that you will have a bond with a person where you make a promise forever. And this is your forever person coming on in, okay? So I will leave it there. Random, I'm seeing, I gotta give you what I see. So many things coming in for your reading. Your reading is very rich with energy, but I'm seeing someone put a padlock on their bike. I can't imagine anyone is listening to me whilst doing that, but I'm seeing someone put a padlock on their bike. So maybe this person cycles everywhere, or this could be that a cycle that is played out in your life, you're stopping it there. It's the end. You're parking that, and now you're free. So take it as it resonates. I'm going to leave it there. I hope something does resonate. Thank you so much, my beautiful Pisceans, and love and light.